Retro Talks Tuesday. Let's get ready to talk. All right, RetroManiacs. In this episode of Retro Talks, I'm going to be talking about a topic that I've talked about before, but I wanted to dedicate a video for it. And it's basically, why are women jealous of their daughters? When we think of a mother-daughter connection, you would think that women would be kind to their daughters, knowing how hard it is for women in this world. You know, it's hard for women in general, regardless of what culture and race you're from. Women have it really, really hard in this world. And you would think that women would want to protect their daughters and love on their daughters and teach them stuff and be there for them. But some women are simply not like that. Some women are mean. They treat their daughters worse than they have treated anybody ever. And why do women tend to be the biggest bullies their daughters have? This is a few reasons why. Some women simply do not view their daughter as their daughter. They view their daughter as competition. Now, maybe when she was younger, they were okay with it. But once a child starts to grow up and develop a personality, definitely if this child grows up to be either smart, talented, or attractive in society eyes, or even in the family, they start to resent that child because that child is starting to grow into their own person, and they do not like that. And they do not like if this child is becoming, in their mind, better than them. So before that child can even achieve anything in life, they have to break this child's spirit to make them feel like they are lesser than, and that the child, wouldn't be anything without them, and da 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 da. In reality, that child probably has so much more potential to really outgrow and outshine their mother. Their mother does not like that. So she has to knock that child down before that child can even get up to begin with. Because a lot of these women see their daughter's success as their failure. A lot of these women are not living the life that they really wanted to. They didn't achieve the dreams that they really had. Maybe they grew up with low self-esteem. Maybe they grew up in a broken home. So instead of giving that child love, they have to project the way they feel about themselves onto that child. It's actually really sad, but that's a lot of what it is. And another reason is youth. A lot of women are threatened by youth. As women get older, a lot of women in society are always raised for being beautiful. A beautiful woman is going to get treated 10 times better than a beautiful man. So when a woman has youth and young, it's a huge thing, because if we think about it, even when it comes down to like certain jobs, like being young and beautiful, you can get a job just for being young and beautiful. And a lot of these women didn't work the job they wanted to work. They didn't accomplish what they really wanted to accomplish. They're starting to get older now. They're starting to get wrinkled now. Maybe they don't feel as attractive anymore. When they see their daughter, they see youth. They see everything they could have been, but they're not. And that's what really threatens them. They're afraid of their daughter's youth, because she has time to grow into her own. She has time to learn new things. She has time to discover what she want to do with her life. And she just has youth on her side. And, she has so many opportunities, and a lot of women didn't. And nowadays, girls have way more opportunities in the world than they did back in the day. A lot of women had to do what they had to do to get by. And they never had a chance to really live the life they want to. And a lot of women are just jealous of their daughter's youth. For example, early this year, there was a situation that happened that it was something that both of my parents had did to one of my younger brothers. I just stood up for him because I thought what they did to him was very messed up and it was very wrong. I won't go into details about that. I might actually talk about that in a different video, but I did stand up for him. And this woman just turned 73 years old in January. And mind you, I'm only 28. I'm 28. I'll be 29 in September. And she had the nerve to ask me how old I was, because she can't even remember how old I am. Don't even know how old I am. And I'm her child. And I've been living with her for this long. And she doesn't even know how old I am. I had the nerve to ask me, oh, how old are you? And I said, 28. And she begins to say, oh, you ain't nothing. You have never accomplished anything in your life. You ain't this. You ain't gonna be nothing. You da 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 da. Mind you, this woman is 73 years old. She's 9 years older than my dad. This woman doesn't have a college degree. This woman had 2 kids by the time she was 21 years old. Had 2 marriages, both horrible marriages. The one that she broke up with and the one that she's in right now. She stopped working in the 90s because she got sick. She's been dependent on my dad for years. And she had the nerve to tell me that at 28 years old, I have not accomplished anything in life and I ain't nobody. Had the nerve to tell me that. And I'm not trying to flex or toot my own horn, but I have accomplished way more in my teen years than she has accomplished in her whole entire life. So for her to sit there and talk to me like that, I know she was crazy. That's when I really knew this woman didn't like me. I always knew it. I definitely realized that day. Another thing is when it seems like they're always trying to take opportunities away from me. I remember when I was in the 4th grade, our school was doing a school trip to go out of town to go to the aquarium. In my school, there were 3 different 4th grade classes. It was one co-ed class, and it was one all girls class and one all boy class. And everybody in the 4th grade was going to go on a field trip. I asked her, I begged her to go because everybody was going to go, and I really wanted to go. She told me we didn't have any money to go. The next year, mind you, my brother, who was only 1 year behind me and 1 year younger than me, had the same field trip, and guess what? He was allowed to go. Didn't have any money for me to go, but she had money for him to go the next year. I'm thinking that maybe it was just a coincidence. It wasn't. I remember coming home one day in the 10th grade, and I saw some school projects and one of the science projects that I did when I was younger in the trash can. And I come out and I said, why is my stuff in the trash can? Talking about, oh, she asked my uncle to clean the basement and he threw that away because he thought it was trash. You know, this woman kept both of my brother's science projects that they did. They were in 2nd grade, and she threw my science project away along with 2 other projects that I had down there. And one of my brothers didn't even care about his science project, didn't even want it. My other brother, he don't even live with us. He still don't take his project with him. It's still sitting in the basement. She threw my stuff away, kept my brother's stuff. That's another time I really knew that she did not like me, because why would you let your brother throw my stuff away, but you wouldn't let him throw my brother's stuff away? That's when I knew she didn't like me too. Also, there was a situation that happened last year. I believe it was in February of last year. And I wanted to talk about this. I actually wrote about this on my GoFundMe, because I do have a GoFundMe to try to raise some money to move out of my house that I'm living in right now. So I wrote it in my GoFundMe, but I didn't make a YouTube video about it. You know, this woman called to propose on me. Basically, what happened was that, you know, me and my dad got into it because, as you guys know, I do recycling. So my dad, he wanted to be funny. He would have one of his brothers come over the house. They would get drunk and smoke weed and stuff like that. And then they'll go buy food, and then they will dump like open beer cans and food trash with like chicken bones in my recycling bin. And I had asked him to stop doing that multiple times. I had went to my mom to tell him to stop. I've been begging him to stop doing that, because every time him and his brother would dump beer cans with beer in it and food, I would have to go out there and clean it myself. I asked nicely. I asked him. I asked her multiple times. I even asked him in front of her. And every time I would ask him, he would try to ignore me. So we got into it one day. And then he tried to say, well, this is other people. I'm not doing it. Why are you getting mad at me? I'm not the one doing it. I said, okay, but you stand there and you watch people do stuff, and you are the one doing it. You are doing it too. Don't try to blame it on these people, because the next thing you know, you're going to be in these people's face. And I told him about himself, you know. We got into it. I told him how he allows his family, and he allows my mom's children, who is his stepkids, to come over here and abuse me and my brothers. He just sit there and watch, talk about what he's supposed to do. We got into it. I had pushed him, and I punched him in the face. I did. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not saying that it was right, but that's what I did. I was tired of this man, so she gonna call the police on me. And then she got mad at my dad because she wanted my dad to press charges on me, and he didn't want to do it. And she got mad because the police did not arrest me, because I talked to both of the police officers. You know, one was a little bit more nicer. The other guy kind of was like, he was a little bit tougher. But once I talked to him about like what I was going through in here, he was telling me how he was raised in a dysfunctional household as well. He basically told me to just like, you know, he said, let this be motivation to move out. He said, you know, just don't speak to them no more. He said, just take all the stuff they do to you. He said, let that motivate you to move out and get out of this toxic environment. I asked him, I said, okay. I said, if they do anything to me, what should I do? He said, if they ever do anything to you, you have to call the police on them, because if they call the police on you, you know what I'm saying, they're basically trying to get me to get arrested. And they were both pretty nice, because I talked to both of the police officers, and they were pretty understanding people. And I guess my mom was mad because I guess she thought that she had something over me and she was trying to scare me, but it didn't scare me because it backfired on her, because they actually ended up being nicer to me and understanding what I was going through. And she really thought that she was just gonna, you know, get me arrested, because the people basically said like, you can't just kick somebody out. You have to evict them, sweetie. You can't just get rid of me. And she's been threatening to kick me out for years, and I'm still here. So I should tell you something right there. And also, I remember another situation where was cleaning out this container that she has in her room, and she keeps a lot of stuff in there. And she had like my brother's graduation diplomas in there, and she had mine's in her room too, but mine was in her closet. So when she was organizing stuff and she put the diplomas in there, she was telling me where mine's at, and I said mine is in the closet. And I said, hey, well, let's put them all together if we can know where they at. After I went to go get out of her closet, you know, she snatched it out of my hand, and then she forcibly threw it down like super hard in the container, and she just looked at me with like this stare in her face. Like, first of all, I worked really hard for that diploma. Don't try to take something that I worked for and snatch it and then throw it down like that. That was so disrespectful. But now I have my diploma in my own room. So I don't let her touch none of my stuff anymore because she just has this evilness about her. I just don't like this woman. I just think this woman is just she's not a good person at all. She's just not a good person. And I even told this woman, look, I said, you know, when you do things to people, you're not really hurting that person. You might hurt that person in that moment, but you're going to hurt yourself forever because you're going to always have to pay for what you do to people. What you do to people is always going to come back to you. You know, when you do things to people, you collect karmic debt. You got to pay for that one day. One day you might need somebody. You know, one day all the stuff that you did to people might blow up in your face. Like, you got to pay for how you treat people. You can't just go through life, you know, messing over people thinking that you're going to live this amazing life. And she wonder why everything in her life never goes right. She wonder why, you know, her life is so hard and stressful because she makes it that way. She makes it that way because she has a bad attitude. She doesn't treat people right. She is her own worst enemy. But yet she blames everybody for her demise instead of blaming the one person that she needs to, and that's herself. Another thing is when their daughters get more compliments than they do. Say if their daughters get more compliments by family members, definitely if their daughters get a lot of male attention, because a lot of women are very male centered, and a lot of women who are jealous, they tie their worth and their value through how men view them, which is sad anyway it goes, because you really shouldn't care about what a man felt like you. But a lot of these women who are low self-esteem, they don't feel beautiful unless a man finds them beautiful. So if a man is complimenting their daughter and not them, they will get mad at their daughter instead of getting mad at the weird man that's talking about their daughter. It's crazy, but that's how these women are. You know, I can recall a couple times when I first started going on like my fitness and like hygiene, you know, journey, when I started like working out more, eating healthy, I started taking care of my hair better. I started taking care of my skin better, like my teeth, and just basically my whole entire self better. And I've been doing that for a few years now, really being on that journey. You know, I started buying my own clothes. I had cuter clothes. I had cuter like sweatpants, cuter t-shirts, cuter like hoodies, because when I was younger, she would get us clothes. But I remember when I got to a certain age, it's like she like refused to buy me new clothes. Or she'll just buy me a couple outfits. And she would give my brothers way more clothes than me, talking about it's hard for her to find clothes in my size because I went through like a bit of a chunky stage in my life, and then she started making it seem like she just couldn't find me any clothes. So like, you know what I'm saying? It was just like it's like she purposely wanted me to like look ugly on purpose. Like it's like she just wanted me to not look good. And that's how I felt growing up. It's like she purposely tried to make me look the worst that I could growing up. So when I started having enough money to buy my own clothes, I can tell she started to get mad about that. So I remember one day a couple of family members had came over, and I don't think it was like anything like any kind of like special like event or party. I just think certain members had just came over all at the same time one day, like unannounced. And it was like one of my aunts and my uncles that don't come over that much. They don't live that far from us. They don't visit that much. They visit every now and then. And so my aunt was talking to me, and we was on the couch and we was talking to each other. I was sitting right next to my aunt, and I was sitting right next to my mom. And my aunt was saying, "Oh, you looking good. You're losing weight." And I was like, "Yeah." And I was telling her how I went on my weight loss journey and how much weight I lost and stuff like that. And I remember when I was telling her that, my older brother, who was like really mean to us, he was just looking at me some type of way. And my mom, the whole time, she was over there rolling her eyes and sucking her teeth. It's because she was mad about me talking about how much weight I lost and how my aunt was telling me how I look nice and stuff like that. She got really mad about that. And then I remember another time when one of my uncles had came over, basically said the same thing, that I was losing weight and I was looking nice, and she got mad and rolled her eyes. And I remember another one of my uncles came over and how he was saying how, my hair, my skin, and how I was looking nice because I slimmed down a lot. And I tell him how, yeah, I've been losing weight. And she would just roll her eyes and smack her teeth. And this same uncle is my goddad, and his wife is my mom's sister. And I remember I would like go over to their house sometimes when I used to get my hair done. And I remember when I first got my hair dyed honey blonde a few years ago, my godparents basically dropped me off home. So when I got to the door, my mom had opened the door, and my uncle had to give my mom something, and he was saying, "Oh, tell your daughter that she looks beautiful. Tell your daughter that her hair is beautiful." My mom just sat there and just wouldn't even look at me and look at my direction. My uncle basically begged her for like at least a few minutes to tell me that I looked beautiful. And this woman did not say it at all. He kept saying, "Tell her she looks beautiful. Tell her hair is beautiful." And that woman would not say it because my mom just hates me. She does not like me, and I know that she doesn't like me. And at this point in my life, I accept that for what it is, because I don't really care too much about her neither, because she's not a nice person. And mind you guys, this is not even my biological mother. This is my adopted mother. This woman adopted me and my two brothers when we were babies, treated us like trash every chance she got. And the thing about this woman does not take care of herself at all. She's already sick. And because she's sick, she lost a lot of weight, her hair fell out, but she don't take care of herself. She eats greasy food, she drinks Pepsi and coffee. She's not supposed to be eating that kind of food. She doesn't wash her hands. We have to beg her to wash her hands before she cooks us dinner. She doesn't brush her teeth. Her teeth are like black and yellow. You know, I actually helped her start growing her hair out because I used to do her hair, and the product that I would use helped her hair grow out. But she rather just goes to the barbershop and get her hair cut off, because I think she's ashamed to have natural hair, because I remember how she used to tell me when my hair was a lot longer before my hair started to break off because of perm, and she would tell me like, oh yeah, when my hair was longer than your hair when I had a perm. My hair was down my back. My hair was da da da. Like, she would try to brag about her hair being longer than mine. It's just the weirdest thing. And then but I think she's ashamed of her natural hair, which is kind of a shame, because when I was getting her hair to grow out, she actually had like a really cute baby afro. I thought that her hair actually looked nice, but I don't think she felt that way. And I think that's why she rather cuts it. She cuts it. She's just a jealous person. There's nothing I can do about that. Oh yeah, she used to drink beer and smoke cigarettes for years as well. And then she finally stopped drinking the beer. She stopped smoking the cigarettes. But every now and then she'll sneak a cigarette in there. And mind you, this woman literally had cancer in her throat. And I believe she got that cancer because she was smoking cigarettes. And cancer runs in her family anyways. And yeah, this woman just doesn't care about her health. You know, she's cancer free now. She's still smoking cigarettes, and that's what caused her cancer in the first place. I believe so. Try to hide that from us. You know, honestly, this woman is just nuts. Like, she really just is not right in the head. And another way a woman can be jealous of her daughter, if she thinks her daughter is smarter than her, like, she would try to downplay her daughter's intelligence, or she would try to make it seem like her daughter is slow or something like that. So basically, if I think about my mom the kind of person is like, you can ask her a simple yes or no question, but the way she answers and it's like condescending. Like, you know how people try to talk in that like slow voice like this, like to try to make it seem like you're slow and you don't understand what they're saying, or she tries to tell you something about something and she be like dead wrong, and like, it's like, sis, you are not right. And when you try to explain things to her that you know is true, it's like, doesn't even want to listen. Like, she's very ignorant. Another way you can tell a woman is jealous of her daughter is when she doesn't want her daughter to be happy. It can be anything. It can just be like a daughter like going somewhere fun, buying something that she likes, or just simple things. It just can be anything. I know, like, my mom would, like, every time I would buy something for myself, she would complain about it. But if I bought something for her, she wouldn't say nothing. So I'm not allowed to buy things that make me happy, but I can buy stuff for her. It's just really weird. Like, she's just such a weird person. And I remember when we were watching this movie, and it's this one channel, I can't remember what this channel was called, but they always have this commercial for Comic-Con. If you guys know what Comic-Con is, it's a convention where people like dress up and cosplay as different like characters from like comic books, like superhero movies and stuff like that. And I've always thought that was cool. And I think you can also meet like different like actors, and I believe like writers and stuff like that. They have like where you can get like autographs and things like that. I think they have like competitions for different things like that as well at these conventions. I've always thought it was cool and I've always wanted to go. And I just remember saying, oh, I would love to go to Comic-Con one day. That's all, mind you, that's all I said. I never said I was going, never even said I had the money to go. All I said is I would love to go. And you know, this woman just went off on me talking about, why would you want to go there? That's a waste of money. You know you can do with that money. You can do so much with that money. Da, 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 da. I wouldn't want to go. I would take that money and I would do something and I would buy stuff that I needed. It is like, sis, I never said I was going. I said I would like to go. Never said I was going. And she just went off, and it's just like, it's so weird talking about if she had the money. Sis, you got money for stuff and it still take you 1,000 years to buy what you want. Like, when she needed a new refrigerator, the whole family been told her to buy a refrigerator because she kept saying that she wanted to get a stainless steel refrigerator that my godmom had. And they've been telling her to get one. Everybody been telling her to get one for years. Talking about, oh, it's too expensive, and she didn't want to spend the money even though she had it. This woman literally waited until our refrigerator broke. We had a old white refrigerator for years. Our refrigerator broke 2022 when our refrigerator, yes, it took her like a week or two to even buy one because the refrigerator stopped working, and the refrigerator wasn't getting cold anymore. She didn't even tell anybody the refrigerator broke. She just started putting the food downstairs in the deep freezer. Woke up one day and saw people in the house putting up a new refrigerator. We didn't even know what was going on. She didn't even tell anybody that she had bought a new refrigerator. Just went out and bought one. Didn't even tell nobody. And then didn't even buy the refrigerator that she wanted. She wanted a stainless steel refrigerator. She ended up just buying another white refrigerator. It's a lot better, but it's not what she wanted. And honestly, I can go on and on about how my mom acts, but that would be like a 10 plus hour video if I really sat here and talked about her. It'd probably be longer than that, but I don't want to talk too much about her. I just wanted to really talk to you guys about how jealous mothers act towards their daughters. And anybody out here who experienced the same thing I have experienced, please let me know in the comment box below. Feel comfortable to comment any experiences, anything that you've been through. I try to comment back to everybody that I see. I try to at least like, comment, give you guys a heart. I want my channel to be a safe place where people can, express themselves and talk about what they go through. When I do these retro talks, I definitely encourage you guys to comment in the comment box below and give me your guys' opinions and give me your guys' experiences so we can all support each other. I do want this to be a safe place. My RetroManiacs are my supporters, and I support you guys as well. Like I say, stay true to yourself, stay blessed, be happy, nice people, and this is baby. I love you guys. And if you guys want to learn more about what quiet confidence is and why I think more people should use it in their life, please check this video out next.